Okay, we on and popping. Just wanted to mute this computer so we ain't gonna get that double talk. What's going on? I'm gonna relax and let people jump up in here. Now I'm not hearing myself. All right. Test, test. Yo. Let me know if the sound is good. If we're going to do a 15-minute sound check like we did yesterday, I'm going to wrap it up like we did yesterday. Just letting y'all know. Turn me up in the headphones. All right, I'm turned all the way up. And the mic is up on high. It's on gain high. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? There shouldn't be any buzzing noise in this sound. I don't hear it. Let me know if you hear any buzzing. There should not be any buzzing in this sound. What's going on, Nightfall? Brick City Riri. See, I like that. Some of y'all I didn't have to hit up, and y'all here. Some of y'all I have to hit up, and y'all here. Let me do something here. All right, hold on. So let me shout out the people in attendance, and I want to give people some time to roll up in here. You know what I'm saying? So this is a continuation from yesterday. Just so y'all know, if y'all hearing some type of like echo effect on this mic, I don't know why that's there. I didn't add it. I'm not mad at it, but I didn't add it. Trying to figure out where that's coming from. But yeah, if you're hearing some sort of some echo chamber shit going on the microphone, I ain't do it. In the meantime and in between time, hit that like button. How many people I got up in here? Let's see. Got the OBS hooked up, so I might not be able to play y'all this AfroMan video, but I'll be able to play the audio. All right, we got 5 people in here. I should have 5 likes. Maybe I need to refresh my screen. So I was hit up. Shout out to Shaka knew. He hit me up and he told me, maybe some of you saw it, that I had a stream running last night from last night all the way up into the morning. I had no idea. It's a black screen. But that's all right because that's going to add to my watch hours. A black screen got 500 views. 500 views. I probably should do that more often. Y'all more interested in watching the black screen. Black screen running from yesterday to today, live. All right. Shout out to Hall of Fame. Shout out to Riri. Shout out to my man Metaforce in the building. So it's J3 again. Am I saying that right? Outspoken as usual. So let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. So we was talking about AfroMan yesterday. AfroMan. I don't know how many of y'all remember AfroMan. I don't know how many of y'all remember AfroMan. Listen, if anybody know of a song that AfroMan did beside Because I Got High, please let me know. That's the only record I know that he's done. I don't know, and this ain't no diss to AfroMan. You know, AfroMan's cool. I'm just curious because maybe I'm out of it. But I'm trying to understand what has AfroMan, like outside of that record. Outside of that record, like his fame is based on what else outside of the record? I mean, I guess it was a hit. I guess because he's talking about getting high, but I'm trying to understand what is his fame based on outside of Because I Got High. I mean, he was a guest on ShayShay. I'm just trying to understand. I don't know. But shout out to AfroMan. Shout out to AfroMan. Anyway. Love to AfroMan. I ain't got nothing against AfroMan. Get that money, player. At any rate, AfroMan was on Shannon Sharp's podcast. I have not seen the whole conversation just yet, but I've seen clips. And there's a few things that he said on the show that I found interesting. Before we get into that, I was having a conversation with a couple people. It was a post that somebody put on the internet basically saying, it was this guy talking about, let me see if I got it saved, right? I'm going to play out some audio because, again, I'm on OBS and I don't know how to share the browser on this shit. Maybe I need to update to the new version. But you had a black guy on FB basically saying that he couldn't hire, they got rid of all of his migrant workers, like his illegals. So he lost all his illegal immigrant employees or whatever, people who hadn't established their citizenship. So he sent all these people home. And he had to fill these jobs. So his beef was nobody would take the job. Right? Nobody would take the job. Oh, I can't hire nobody. Nobody wants these jobs. Nobody this, that, and the other. Right? Let me see if I can pull this up. But we know that's bullshit. We know that's bullshit. You got people from the Democratic Party that'll get up on a microphone and a camera and say, who's going to do these jobs? Once you get rid of these people, who's going to do these jobs, right? This is the thing. We know how capitalism works. It's not lost on us. We've been here since this whole shit began. What's going on, Keena? I see you. I shut it down yesterday. I'm on a stream for 20 minutes and nobody shows up. So I left. You know how you go, you get to the party early, ain't nobody here, you bounce. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, niggas is busy tonight. This ain't the night. See you tomorrow. Sometimes it bees like that. You know what I'm saying? come and it's cricket, it's time to go. We've all been at a party, and all my niggas know you going to parties. Too many niggas in here. Ain't no bitches. Time to go. Time to go. Niggas bumping into each other. It's crowded. Mad niggas. Like 5 women. Time to go. This ain't it. What else is popping? But they always try to play like Americans, and they really mean black Americans, are acting like they too good. Like they too good to do certain jobs. Like we act like we too good to do certain jobs. No, what we too good for is slavery. Been there, done that. That's what we too good for. We too good for slavery. So you bring your new slaves over, and they do the job for damn near nothing. This is why a lot of these people have to live 10 to 20 to a place, because they have to work that slave wage and then combine that income. Nigga want his own spot. A nigga want his own spot. Okay? Not to brag. I got rooms on rooms on rooms in this motherfucker. And niggas be like, yo, you ain't looking for a roommate? Hell no. No, nigga. Each one of these rooms has a purpose. No room at the end. Jesus Christ. All I'm saying is, niggas, we did the slavery shit already. So, you gotta pay a nigga. You gotta pay a nigga. We ain't too good to do no job. We too good to get underpaid. We are the Americans. Been saying this for years. You might have seen the stream. I'm on it. We are the Americans. We are the Americans. We ain't running from nowhere, seeking refuge, or any of this other shit. Knock it off. Knock it off. Just so you know, I got like 3 screens in here with y'all comments running. Yo, anyway. We did it there, done that. You gotta pay a nigga. You gotta pay a nigga. What's been going on way too long? Cause we started talking about the service industry. And when you look at the service industry is by and large people from elsewhere. When you go to your diner, you go to your restaurant, who's there? Serving. It's not you. It's people from elsewhere. Now, I understand people come here, opportunities, etc., etc. I get it. But let's call it what it is. Niggas ain't too good to work in no restaurant. Niggas ain't too good to work in no fields. Niggas ain't too good to work on no construction site. I don't care what job it is. A nigga can't be at a job all day and come home still broke, too broke to pay some shit. Because 80 niggas ain't living in a spot. It's not how it's going down. That's not how we are the Americans. We did that once upon a time. I think it's safe to say that anyone in their future generations will want to graduate past a certain point where we did that, now we don't have to. I'll tell you something else. And I said it before. You bring people over here from whatever country. I don't care what country it is, right? It ain't about hate. It's about, this is just practicality. It's just reality. They say, well, we need somebody to pick the fruit. So you bring some people over here and they pick the fruit, right? Guess what's going to happen? These people are going to have children here. They just fought to make the birthright citizenship. You know, they fought to keep that. It wasn't for nobody else but us, but they fought to keep that. They were successful in keeping that on the books. So what happens is these fruit pickers, they have children. Their children do not pick fruit. Their children are the American. Their children will go to school, get a diploma, get a degree, and now compete in your American workforce for the jobs. The same jobs that you're chasing while they're telling you you think you're too good to do what their parents did. You've been here. You too good to pick fruit. These fruit pickers' children ain't picking fruit. They not too good? So then let me tell you what happens. Their parents age out. So all the fruit picking first generation immigrants age out. They not picking fruit no more. Maybe their daughter, son is now in corporate America taking care of them. They ain't got to pick fruit no more. So now you run out of fruit pickers. Not because we sent motherfuckers home, but because they aged out. So you know what you got to do? You got to import more fruit pickers. You can't pay their children what you paid them. You can't pay us what you paid them. You can't even pay the white man what you paid them. The Americans don't want to do it for the money you're paying. It's not the job, it's the money. Everybody ain't got a degree. Everybody ain't trying to be a lawyer, a doctor, or an electrician. Some people just want to go to work, do their job, make enough money to bring home to keep the TV on and the AC on and the gas on and shit like that. Those people will do whatever you need them to do for the money. And if you paying them, they will come to work. How do I know? I've run businesses, I've had employees, and I know niggas that run businesses and had employees. When I see niggas, whether you claim to be on the right or the left, talking shit about minimum wages and things like that, you let me know just by me listening to you that you ain't never ran a business. You got motherfuckers that'll say, well, you know, and I know it might be some people in this chat that might have this opinion. I'm going to run it down to you. A lot of people on the right might say, well, if you're working at fast food, you shouldn't be making no more than $15 an hour because you don't got a degree, you ain't this, you ain't that. I don't know how many of you ever worked in food service. I've worked in food service. I've worked at McDonald's in my 20s. By a show of ones, who in the chat has ever worked at a restaurant? I'll wait. Press 1. I don't care what your job was. If you've ever worked at a restaurant, press 1. I got one person who worked in food service. 2 people work food service. 3 people work food service. 3 have worked in food service. 3 people food service. That's it? 3 people? Three people's good enough. I make 4. Look. Food service. Do me a favor. Cool Man, Nightfall, Hall of Fame. If you don't mind, name the place you worked at. The most popular place, if you worked more than one place. Name the most popular restaurant, food service place you worked at. I'm interested. As for me, I worked at Tony Roma's. I've worked at McDonald's. I worked at Boston Chicken before it became Boston Market. And for you down south motherfuckers, I worked at Crystal, the down south White Castle in Florida. I worked at Crystal, making them little slider hamburgers. Okay. Lucy, what's up? I see you. So Nightfall worked at Taco Bell. Hall of Fame said Captain Disney junior and senior year of high school. D's not just Disney. No, oh, D's not Disney. Okay. Yeah, I worked at Crystal in Florida, and I used to, they used to make us pay for our fucking food there. So when you took lunch, if you ate there, they would take it out of your check before you got it. What kind of slave shit is that? You gonna throw this shit away? Man, I used to bang them burgers down as soon as motherfucker turn around. I've had more jobs than a little bit in my lifetime. That's why I don't like 9 to 5s. But anyway, anybody who has not worked food service don't know. That is a bitch ass job. I got to the point where I was like, I'm never working food service again. The reason I mention food service is because y'all know how it is, especially for the servers. When you go to eat at a restaurant, you are expected to pay some of this person's income as a customer. You coming into the restaurant, you're ordering your food, and you're paying for the person who's serving you to serve it to you. They got shit online that tells you what percentage of the price you're paying should go to, on top of that, should go to the server. which the logic confuses me, and let me tell you why. I understand the gratuity being connected to how big your party is. I understand the logic behind that, but then I'm even attack that. But I understand the logic being behind how many people in your party, because the more people you have in your party, it implies that there's more work at your table. But how much I pay for my food should be irrelevant to how much I give the server. Leon, what up? How much I pay for, listen, I could be at a restaurant by myself and order a steak. Just a steak, one plate, steak, some broccoli on the side or whatever. Bring me that shit. Or I could be at a restaurant and order an appetizer. It's the same one plate. Is it harder to serve a steak than some chicken fingers? No, but one costs more. So now I got a renter under Caesar. This shit don't make no sense. So basically, what you're doing is you're cutting the server in on the price. So this plus tax plus whatever, multiply that, put the dot here, carry the one, and boom. This is how much I owe the server. Based on the price. Not how much work, but the price. The math ain't mathing. Computers ain't putin'. Boopity boot. It ain't going together. It don't make sense. What this feels like to me is it gives the restaurant an out to pay the people less money. Which in the service industry, this is why they hire a certain demographic. Because niggas too good. This is why they hire a certain demographic. You pull somebody out of a war-torn, impoverished nation, they're happy to get whatever you give them. And I understand how that works. This is why black people always get the criticism. Y'all think y'all too good. Y'all think y'all above this. Y'all notice that with all the races of people here, they only look at niggas to say, y'all think y'all too good. That's right, bastard. Uppity Negro swag, nigga. They don't tell Bubba he too good to pick fruit. The implication is always niggas. I be seeing some wild shit on the internet where they tell you to do this wild math for the tip. How about this? How about y'all pay these people what you supposed to pay them? Uppity Negro swag is a t-shirt, Keena. It's a t-shirt. Matter of fact, I should have had my coffee cup. Next time y'all see me on the stream, y'all gonna see the coffee cup right here. Right here. Oh yeah, I got t-shirts, I got coffee cups. Uppity Negro swag. These niggas will tell you. That's the trademark. Marcus Aurelius, uppity Negro swag, eloquently petty, articulate assholery. They know what it is. At any rate, pay these people like you get paid to do every other job. But you'll have Republicans, and I don't understand how the Republicans trick poor niggas into these ideologies. If you work for fast food, $15 is too much. Well, why is it too much? Well, fast food is a job for the kids. Let's think about this for a minute. For the kids. You know, you're a teenager. It's your first job. You should be getting $12 an hour. So let's rob the kids, but okay. I'm just saying. Let's explore this for a second. That fast food is a job for the teenagers and for the kids that's going to school and shit like that. Let me ask you something. For the Big Mac eaters in the building. I haven't had a Big Mac in so long, I forgot how it tastes. But for the people who fuck with fast food, whether you prefer McDonald's, you prefer Wendy's, you prefer Burger King. Let me ask you this. When are you likely to go to this restaurant? School hours. You go in the morning. You get your hot cake, your little sausage patty and shit, and your disgusting ass McDonald's coffee. In the morning. When do schools start? Okay. Let me ask you another question. When is the next time you go to the restaurant? It's in the song. You deserve a break today. You go to your lunch break. 12 noon. What time school in? 12 noon? 11 a.m.? No, nigga. You go eat your lunch, school hours. You get off work, 4, 5, 6. You ain't going to McDonald's. Unless you don't feel like cooking, you going home. Right? You go home. By the time you get off, the kid's home. Now, had this conversation with different people over the years. But who the fuck is working at fast food during school hours and they kids? What kid is working there during school hours? But Marcus, and this is how I be knowing niggas ain't never run a business. But Marcus, what about the college kids that go to night school? Really? Really? So let me ask you this. So let's say your night class college student is working at McDonald's. He go to school during the day. And then he come work at McDonald's at night. Now, Leon, let's run with it. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. When I was in school, when I was in college, I had a nighttime job. But let's talk about it. Let's do it. So you got your kid employees at the McDonald's. Now, let me ask you this. Who's your supervisor? I don't care what time of the day. Who's your supervisor? Joey? Little Joey? He the regional? He the supervisor? Who's running this McDonald's? Who's the shift manager? All the shift manager do is wear a different color shirt. He might get paid a quarter more. How you know that, Marcus? Because I worked at McDonald's. You got the shift manager. And then you got the dude that's in the office with the calculators and the safe. And he might get paid more than everybody. But that's a grown-ass man. Right? So let's say you got your night school person. They go to school in the daytime and then they work at night. When is this motherfucker studying? When is he studying? When does he have time to do school shit? You know what happens to that kid that's working at McDonald's while they're in school? They call out. They come late. They oversleep. They quit. This is the type of employee you're going to have. So, when your night school nigga calls out, who's taking his place? Not the daytime go to school nigga. Hey, bro, such and such that work, working the day. You need to cover his shift, or work at night. You need to cover his shift. These are kids. Nah, they not doing it. These are not kids that gotta pay rent and pay bills and shit like that. They working maybe for some extra Jordan money or some cute shit. They're not invested. They don't have to be there. Most people when you get a grown person working for you and they making money at your job, these motherfuckers want extra shifts. They want, extra pay. They're going to bust their ass because they got responsibilities and people that they feed and supporting, bills to pay, shit like that. You got a kid working there? You're going to have turnover like a motherfucker. This is what happens when you try to skimp on your workforce. You're going to have turnover. Nobody's going to take a job seriously that they can't, they stay broke working for you. You setting yourself up for failure. Now, when you trying to get your business going, you do what you got to do. You're going to go through some bum shit, whatever. We've all been through it. My man been through it, Maybe you got your people working for you until you can hire real people. But McDonald's, these restaurants been around since before anybody in the chat and everybody having this conversation. This is corporate shit at this point. And you look at the corporate structure of McDonald's, these motherfuckers is getting crazy pay hikes and shit like that. Because Marcus, if they pay them a certain amount, then the price of the burger going to go up. No, that's about greed, because at the end of the day, none of these motherfuckers are going to go out of business if they just pay their employees. So they put it on you. They put it on you. They pass that to you. They are able to underpay their employees because their employees take tips. And then you know what sometimes they do with them tips? They pool them. Or a portion of the tip goes to the restaurant. That's why a lot of people like to leave cash. It's just like when we was doing the stripper parties. It's called tip in, bitch. It's called tip in. Bitch, you got the tip in. Yeah. Now, wait. But wait, it gets worse. Now, you go into certain places in 2026 where you don't even get served. and they got a tip option on the cash register. Wait, hold up. Imagine you go into a place to buy some shit, and then at the end of the transaction, they ask you what percentage of what you just paid for some shit that didn't get served to you, you want to tip the cashier. Subway, I can understand. But the tip should be in excess of a fair wage, not supplementing an unfair one. Subway, they make your sandwich in front of you. I get it, but that still doesn't give Subway the leeway or the opening to underpay their employees in hopes that the customer will supplement their money. Mike, you're absolutely correct. That is the origins of tipping. He says tipping is a racist practice. I refuse to tip restaurants. Of course it's racist. That's why they replaced the old slave with the new one. If you go in Yogurtland, you go in there, you pick up a cup, you fill your own cup with frozen yogurt. Then you put your own toppings on. You put your shit on the scale. They tell you how much it costs, and then they ask you, how much of a tip would you like to leave? For what? Hold up. When did this begin? Tipping the cashier. Imagine going to Walmart and they do that shit. Imagine that. It's getting ridiculous. And I don't blame the workers. I blame the establishment. But then they take this money and they do wild shit with it. Nah, Jay Shabazz, this shit precede COVID. This shit precede COVID. They been on that. At least I've been seeing that. I don't know where everybody is. But that shit precedes COVID. COVID made it worse. It exacerbated a lot of bullshit. And what these corporate entities is trying to do is replace the money they lost. They try to replace the money they lost because they want to continue holding on to that bread. What's going on, Doc? Dr. Thunder's in the building. What's going on, man? But they're trying to replace the money because they don't want to take a pay cut. They don't want to take a pay cut. That shit would have no effect on their ability to still run business. It would just affect how much money they kept at the end of the day. These companies are worth billions of dollars. McDonald's owns real estate. And you got niggas that'll say, well, you know, the companies will go out of business. Why are you worried about the plantation? In 2026, I still hear niggas arguing from the plantation perspective. Wells, if and we don't picking this cotton for free, then Mr. Candy will have to sell the house. Nigga, fuck Mr. Candy. But again, we are the only group of people that they step to with this bullshit. Oh, they sold the Lakers. Okay, I knew it was up for sale. They sold the Lakers. I know Bob Iger is one of the buyers. Bob Iger. Wow. All I gotta say is la 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 la. If you know, you know. I know who he is. I know who he is. Hava Nagila Hava Nagila Hava Nagila ha. Nobody's asking them, are they too good? Nobody's asking the challah bread eating motherfuckers to do any of these jobs. Basically, they saying, nigga, you know your place, nigga. You supposed to do this. If we ain't got these people, if y'all trying to send these people home, are y'all fixing to pick this cotton? And what you gonna do for your cornbread? My man had a piece of cornbread like this. That was a big piece of cornbread in that movie. That shit was like this, yo. My mama ain't never cut me a piece of cornbread this big. Like that nigga had in that prison. That was a big piece of cornbread. And shout out to my New York niggas. Y'all go to fucking BBQs, Dallas BBQs. And the cornbread ain't that fucking big. Oh, I got to find out about that, Shabazz. I'm not up on that. I'll get to it. Let's talk about AfroMan. Shout out to AfroMan because I got high and shit like that. I got love for AfroMan. My man ain't even lose his afro. So let's start on this. He talked about two things. He talked about marriage. And he talked about Africans. Right? We're going to start with the African shit. The marriage shit, We're going to start with the marriage quote. Right? Because I got it queued up. I got it ready. And we're going to move on to the next one. So this is what he said.
What, get married again? No. Why? You have to do your duties forever. But she can stop being a wife as soon as you get married. As soon as you get married, she can say, go in there and cook your dinner your goddamn self. You punk-ass motherfucker. And I wish you would divorce me and give me all this shit. So, you gotta keep on being a husband, but she can stop being a wife. And then it's to her advantage to be like this. If she don't have the right mentality, they have divorce parties now. They celebrate getting with a guy and breaking up with him and breaking him. Damn. Yeah. What, get married again? No. Why? You have to do.
So they asked this man, will he ever get married again? To which his answer was no. Because you have to continue being a husband, but she can stop being a wife after the wedding. If she so chooses. Now people will say, Marcus, if you find the right one. You don't know whether you got the right one until you find out you got the wrong one. And there's no protections. One thing you got to say about women, however they did it, they've managed to put a fail safe on every fucked up life decision. American Western women have managed to put training wheels on life. We know how this happened, but fuck that. We ain't going to discuss that. We're here. The result is that they have managed to put training wheels on every fucked up life decision. There's a safety net. They can walk the tightrope, do backflips, cartwheels, all type of shit, handstands. And if they fall off that motherfucker, they'll be all right. They gonna be all right. They might not have the best quality of life, but they'll be all right. What's going on, Kobe? They'll be all right. It's understood. Hey, look, it's cute. She got her own bread. She got 6 figures. It's cute. I don't want women to get mad at me when I say this. No, I'm not giving them credit. I'm saying, however it happened, and again, that's a totally different discussion because we're going to get off topic, Hall of Fame. I'm saying the outcome is this is what they have. I'm not getting into who or how. None of that. Fuck all that. We know. We know how it happened. Y'all been fucking with me for a minute. Let's not regurgitate the conversations. 2026, here we are. Bitch can walk a tightrope, fall off that bitch, land on a fucking feather bed. That is the outcome. Okay? As it stands today. Again, maybe not the best quality of life in every situation, but definitely a better quality of life than you should you fall under the same, situation. A nigga walk across a tightrope. He better set his own feather bed on the ground, or nigga, you will hit straight concrete. Your duty in life is to create a feather bed of fail-safe. You got to do it. You got to do it. That's why motherfuckers are so protective with their money and shit like that. Because you got to do it. It's your job. Ain't no support system for niggas. Support system, you sound like a bitch. You say support system, it's giving sassy, right? Man want a support system. This is the thought process. This is the societal understanding. So all I'm saying is, my man is saying she get to stop. There's no opting out of masculinity. Like I said on the other stream, there's different flavors of sexualities and different flavors of incomes and successes and things like that. For women, nigga, you are a man at all times, 24/7, 368 years, days in the year. And if you ask me where I got the other 3 days from, nigga, you better find where them 3 days is gonna come from, nigga. That's the expectation. 25 hours a day, 368 days in the year. You gotta create them days. Just like you gotta have 6 figures in a depression or a recession, an economic downfall, you got to have the money anyway. Or else yous ain't no man, right? So I'm just saying, your masculinity is not optional. So when I hear these things about women getting fired from jobs and shit, safety net. Anyway, we ain't gonna spend too much on that. But let's go to his other comments, which I find very interesting. Okay, we ain't gonna play that. That's Kanye on some shit. So let's go to AfroMan, Shannon Sharp, where he speaks on, you know. So basically, his perspective on the continent and Africans, right? It's multi-layered. Let's listen to what he say, and then we'll get into it. Let me try to bring this back to the beginning. Let me know if y'all can't hear it.
We was betrayed and sold, to the point where I feel like it's my option to patronize that title or not. All due respect to him, if something jumped off and all black people were attacked, I would stand with him for survival. Great. I find a lot of them arrogant and condescending and disrespectful to Afro-Americans when they're here on the civil rights that our mothers and fathers and grandfathers fought for. I just think they ought to be a little bit more respectful under all the circumstances, that they betrayed us, backstabbed us, served us, sold us, and then they're living in America benefiting off of the civil rights that we fought for. That being said... You're talking about white America, correct? No, I'm talking about Africa. I'm talking about... Oh, you're talking about Africans that came over. Right. Okay. The Africans, they sold us. Right. They sold us in slavery. Right. Then, you know, a lot of them are condescending. Okay. Disrespectful toward Afro-Americans. Oh, okay. Okay, so that being said, I call myself an Afro-American. Okay. Not denying I'm a descendant of an African. Okay. But just before the betrayal, I call myself an Afro-American.
So I want to say something in relation to that, and I hope
we was betrayed.
He said, yeah, it's low. I don't know if y'all heard it, so if y'all want me to play that again, let me know. Let me know if y'all need to hear that again. Let me know if you need to hear it again. I'm looking for... What's going on, Tyrone? He said I can, so I'm going to play that one more time. I want to see if I can find a longer clip relating to that. But I'm going to play that again. I'm going to play that again. Oh, there's a longer clip for marriage is a low-key hustle. Because that was the comment that he made on marriage. Marriage is a low-key hustle. there's a lot of transfer of wealth that happens in marriages. I'm not saying that every marriage is good for women, but marriage as an institution, basically, in the general sense of how it's practiced. So let me play his comments, his this clip one more time relating to people from the continent. I'm gonna play that one more time so that you guys can hear it. I'm gonna try to put the speaker of the phone close. Well, you got Nightfall says he didn't hear everything, so I'm gonna play it one more time just in case people watch this playback and they don't hear it correctly. So I'm gonna put this like this. Let's hear it.
No. Why? You have to do your duties forever, but she can stop being a wife as soon as you get married. What? Get married again? No. Why? You have to do your duties forever, but she can stop being a wife as soon as you get married. As soon as you get married, she can say, go in there and cook your dinner your goddamn self. You punk ass motherfucker. And I wish you would divorce me and give me all this shit. So, you gotta keep on being a husband, but she can stop being a wife. And then it's to her advantage to be like this. If she don't have the right mentality, they have divorce parties now. They celebrate getting with a guy and breaking up with him and breaking him.
It's the wrong clip.
Yeah. What, get married again? No. Why? You have to do your duties forever.
That's not the clip I'm looking for.
Stop being a wife as soon as you get.
You heard that one already. That's not the clip that I'm looking for.
You get married again? No.
Hold on.
Afro. You have any idea? You get married again?
You keep playing that. Let me go to
Were you surprised? It's the most offensive word. Yes. Afro-Americans. Yes. I'm gonna say Afro-American. I am of African descent. Correct. Personally, I feel like we was betrayed and sold. Okay. I find a lot of them arrogant, condescending, and disrespectful to Afro-Americans when they're here on the civil rights that our mothers and fathers and grandfathers fought for. I just think they ought to be a little bit more respectful under all the circumstances, that they betrayed us, backstabbed us, served us, sold us, and then they're living in America. But just before the betrayal, I call myself an Afro-American. Now, as an Afro-American, yes, Afro-Americans, yes. I'm going to say Afro-American. I am of African descent. Correct. Personally.
All right, the clip played twice. I don't even know if that was the same clip. But at the end of the day, this is the thing, right?
It's the most offensive word in the English language. I thought about building a city. We was betrayed and sold, okay, to the point where I feel like we was betrayed and sold, okay.
So y'all get it. That's enough. Y'all get it. So let's speak on what he said about betrayed. Okay, and this is, if I got a problem with anything that he said there, is that part. I don't have an issue with anything else that he said, right? But if you say betrayed, that would imply that we were the same group and they were obligated. And when I say they, I mean whatever nation, tribe, whatever, was obligated to the people that they sold. I think that black people in America are still operating under the premise that we are, quote unquote, all black or all African. Therefore, we are all one big happy family and one people type shit. Betrayal means that you owe me loyalty. And from what I understand, there was a group of Africans that were selling other groups of Africans that these two groups of Africans were not aligned with each other. They wasn't selling their sisters and cousins. And I think that black Americans have to let go of this idea that everybody from Africa is like this one big happy family. Everybody in Europe ain't like that. Everybody in Asia ain't like that. We were given that ideology by white people. If we can sit here in 2026 and see that there are groups of people that are melanated, that come from different nations, that are not necessarily aligned with our group, then the same thought process would have to go into groups of people in Africa. For some reason, Black Americans think that skin is a tribe, and it's not. Skin is not a tribe. Skin color, physical attributes, things of this nature is not a tribe. It's not a family. It's none of that. That's number one. Those people over there, independent of any Black American opinion, involvement, don't get along with each other. And it's Africa. Everybody there African. We talk as if there's a United Asia or United Europe. There ain't shit united. People have interests, and if their interests align, then they are united in their interests. That's what unites people. Common interests. That's how humanity works. It's been working that way, and Black people are also humans. For some reason, white people have convinced Black people that we are to operate outside of what's understood as humanity. For some moral superiority bullshit. I get into it with niggas about this shit all the time. We got to be better than everybody. Why? Because the white man says so. They have convinced you that in order to be respected as a human, you got to be better than everybody. Not just them, but everybody. The moral standard for you is higher. And while you chase that moral standard, they use you. It's gaslighting. It's gaslighting. They convince you. It's just like a pimp or anything else, where we convince you that you're this terrible person. And while you bust your ass to prove that you're not, we eat off the benevolence. Imagine telling a girl, you don't know how to suck no dick. Yes, I do. I don't believe you. We know what happens next. Now you got to prove. This is game. Them titties ain't real. Goofy bitch be like, yeah, they are. See? You get played with. How the girl say, these niggas playing in your face. You get played with. There's no betrayal. We are not them, they are not us. Now, of course, the conversation has been lately, are we even from the continent? You got one dude saying he gonna sue Africa because we got sold, and then you got a group of other people saying, well, we was never there in the first place. Just understand, if you prove that you weren't there, or if these people believe you, your case goes out the window. And some of y'all are the same niggas. Some of y'all are the same people. Yeah, we got a case against Africa, but we're indigenous Americans. Nigga, which one is it? You got to make up your mind. Just understand, you come off the class action suit if you're indigenous. That means your ass wasn't on the boat. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. I'm just saying, if this nigga was part of tribe A and you was part of tribe B and he sold you to the white people, he ain't betray you. You wasn't part of this tribe. You was another nigga. Believe it or not, the Africans ain't on the continent all holding hands singing some African shit. You got Africans that don't fuck with Nigerians. A lot of people don't fuck with Nigerians. That's another conversation for another day. Right? But let's start there. There's no betrayal. Get that betrayal shit out of your mind. All black people don't owe it to all the other black people to be unified. It's about interests. What's in it for me? It's always been about that. The Japanese and the Chinese done fought. They done tried to take over each other's lands in Asia. All the Mongolian people, whether it be Japan or Korea or China or whatever, they done all fought each other to expand their borders. Nobody says it's Asian on Asian. Nobody says this. Nobody says European on European. Nobody says that. Humans are not unified based on we're the big noses. If you got a big nose and I got a big nose, you owe me brotherhood. When you leave America, everything is about nationality. Only shit here is this black and white shit. Not to say that there's not racism outside of America. Just understand nationality be coming first. And somebody said to me, well, not all Asian people look alike. They look more alike than they look like you. Not all black people look alike. I look at you, I look at the Nigerian motherfucker, I know you ain't him. They don't look like you. And they know you don't look like them. I remember one of your favorite content creators said, when you in these other countries, they don't know that you're American. Bullshit, nigga, you ain't never been nowhere. If you think that black people outside of America don't know that you don't belong to their group, you ain't never been nowhere. You ain't never been nowhere. So don't tell me that you pan shit. Nigga, you pan fried. You pan fried noodles or some shit. Pan pizza. You ain't never took a Pan Am. Pan-Africans should be in Africa. You supposed to be in Africa building. Pan-Africans should be in Africa building. Why are you here telling everybody they should be... No, do what the fuck you promoting. Whatever you promoting, be about that. Be about that shit you talking. Or you just running your mouth. Yo, this and that is going on. Everybody that we know, just about, that's been to the continent Every time I come across a conversation or a commentary about Americans going to the island, to the continent, they say something different than an American grass-touching Pan-African got to say about that. Anyone you know that could be named that has touched African soil will give you a different perspective on being American, black American in Africa than any of these aspirational, fake-ass Pan-African niggas in North America. And just like earlier I said, you could tell and sniff who's never ran a business. You could tell and sniff who's never been to the continent. Shout out to Dr. Neil. He's been to the continent. Talk to people that's been there to the continent. And they'll give you a different perspective and a reality on the ground. Whether I don't care what your opinion of them as a person is, it's irrelevant. If they've been there, they can give you more insight on what it is that's going on over there than the guy that you like that's here and ain't never been there. So, when you got a guy like AfroMan saying this, and this is the general consensus, this was going on before an FBA or an ADOS or any of this stuff. Everybody wants to blame this shit on Tariq. Tariq Nasheed started this. It's divisive. This has been a thing. This was the underlying theme in the Black Panther film. This is not new. And if you're from a city like I am, you've experienced it more, right? For big city guys, it's a little different because we got homies from the continent and we got homies from the Caribbean. But the homies know what's up. They still the homies. A couple months ago, I went to a funeral for my man. My man is Haitian, straight out of Haiti. It's impossible to be in New York and not have friends from other places. But you know what you're dealing with. And if that's your homie, you get past that, but it's not necessarily them that's on it, it's their people. We knew what the parents of our friends was on. You had parents that didn't want you hanging out with their kids. You definitely had parents that didn't want you dating their daughters. If you didn't come from where they were from, if you didn't speak the language or the dialect or anything like that. If you from New York, you've been somewhere where if you ain't speak Spanish and you from the Bronx, outspoken. If you from Brooklyn and you around Caribbean people, if you couldn't speak in that accent, or if you couldn't speak their language, and their parents will speak that shit to you because they want to see how you respond. Your future with their kid was in question. That's a fact. That's a fact. And the kids know it. The kids that grew up with us know that. They know it. So, this isn't a figment of our imagination. This is real. And shout out to my man Seth Seth, where you at? You still in here? And my man Seth in New York, he know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Seth. But at the end of the day, Seth, I'm waiting for you to respond before I say anything. At the end of the day, this is what it is. I don't know where AfroMan is from. But, I mean, there's Africans all over the country. It's like you going to, other countries. I don't think there's a place I've been outside of America where I didn't see Nigerians. Nigerians are everywhere. And shit, to be honest, I can understand how some of the other African nations don't like Nigerians because Nigerians are like the representatives of the continent. So it's almost like whatever they do is generally how Africans are looked at. It's generally how they looked at. It's like how people outside of New York view New York or people outside of America view America. They base it on the most popular places. But Nigerians are the most popular Africans. How often do you meet somebody from Madagascar? Now, where I'm at on the West Coast, deep with Ethiopians. Deep with Ethiopians, very deep. And you can spot them. If you're on the West Coast, I know what an Ethiopian looks like. It's a very distinct look. Very distinct facial features. But at the end of the day, man, what he's saying is has been the feeling or the opinion of Black Americans for a long time. It's not new, and I think that what happens is you got a good amount of people who are from other places that have been here a while, that they might have been part of the civil rights movement or they've been here since that time, and these people will use that as if those people represent the position of most of these people, and they don't. I'm willing to say that there are Africans and people from the Caribbean that rock with Black Americans, especially if you came here very young or you were born and raised here or whatever. But it's too often that we see either the parents of or the kids themselves, even though they grown up here, they carry the attitudes of their parents. It's just certain shit that you can't say, though, because whatever you're going to say about Black Americans and our situation in America, you got to remember where you came from. You came from a place where everybody from the top down looked like you. Over here, the power structure is what it is. We see it, it's apparent. But over there, everybody's you. Now, of course, you got your own issue with a colonizer. So you would think that people would empathize. You would think that a country that had to fight for its independence didn't deal with, embargoes and things of this nature, would empathize with Black Americans. Instead, what they're doing is they're pining for position. which is disappointing to us because I don't ever remember a time in history where black Americans were anti anybody. People from the continent and people from the Caribbean, I think we have a long documented history of being pro-African and pro-Caribbean. Documented. This is actually the first time in a long time that we're taking this stance, and they're looking at it as if, oh, yeah, this is being created by a particular person. Before Tariq was in the discussion, this was a thing. So I don't find AfroMan's comments to be alarming, disturbing, any of this. The only thing I'll say in reference to how he worded it was when he said we were betrayed. And no, we were not betrayed because we weren't them. Whoever got sold weren't part of the group that was doing the selling. Period. That is the only pushback I would have on that statement. I'm going to read some comments and then we out of here. Been here for an hour and a half. So let's see what y'all talking about, man. Yeah, Kobe says you will be referred to as the American elsewhere. Yeah, everywhere you go, you'll be the American. Oh, Seth, you in here. Okay, Seth. What's good, Seth? Shout out to Seth. You want me to say it, Seth? Let me know. Let me see here. Okay, so Seth has been, let me see. Seth has been battling the C word, right? So shout out to him. And when I say the C word, I do mean cancer. I almost hate to say, I hate to say cancer. It bothers me to say that, to be honest. Right? Lucy, peace. If you out of here, peace out. Yeah, I hate to use the word cancer, man. But he sent me his certificate of completion. He completed radiation therapy. And hopefully, well, you know better than me what it's looking like. I know people who have beat cancer. I know them personally. And Seth, me and you still got to have a conversation about the different things that I mentioned to you. Right? If you are battling cancer outside of radiation therapy, man, there are very powerful things that you can do to fight the spread. I know people who have done this repeatedly, over and over and over, right? Over and over and over. And the information that I have, right? The information that I have, very valuable information to anybody that wants it. These are like herbal remedies and things. You know, people hear herbal, they probably think, oh, this is some bullshit. No, listen. When I say I know people who have done the things that I'm talking about to beat cancer, it's real. I've seen them do it again and again and again and again on some real superpower shit. So it's not to be slept on. But shout out to him. And it's an ongoing thing. So you gotta stay on that. It's not over. It's not over. And when I say that, I mean in terms of you gotta be looking over your shoulder for that. You know, cancer is one of them things where it's like you bust cancer ass. Cancer's like, yeah, okay, all right, all right. But yeah, man, shout out to you. Shout out to Lucy. You said, so I think you said your daughter's a cancer survivor. Who is it? Let me see here. Yeah, your daughter. So yeah, man. Yeah, Seth. Yeah, we gonna talk. Definitely holler at me. But yeah, shout out to him. And like I said, man, if anybody got any questions relating to that, just if you got me on Facebook, DM me. But yeah, man, I got a list of things, long list of things. To be honest, like I'm not a candidate, but I got a bunch of shit sitting on my kitchen counter that I take just as preventative measures. Cause it's something that, I mean, even though like I said, I'm not a candidate, I that's the thing. It don't matter how many weights you lift, and you can run and you can jump and you can do backflips. If that shit come for you, it's coming for you, right? You just never know. You do what you can, but you know. But at any rate, man, this weekend I'll be in LA, slapping booty butt cheeks as usual. And I appreciate you guys for jumping in here with me. I'm gonna figure this thing out here so I can live stream and throw. I gotta figure out StreamYard or get another situation going. But this is still Raw Dog YouTube through OBS. I'll figure it out so I ain't got to be playing shit through my phone. But shout out to y'all, man. We gonna do this again. At any rate, I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy y'all what is this? Tuesday night? Wednesday night? It's Wednesday night. I'll kick it with y'all. Peace out.